like talking from afar, cause they can't say it to my face. They know this y'all like clip longer than the line at Chick-fil-A. Only beam on my gun when I say it's stop wait. Ain't no Hooper turn gangster, niggas can't play with my name. Crime activator hundreds, it ain't safe where I stay. Niggas dying on that cul-de-sac if they say Dex name.
What is up, gamers? It's AwildNerf coming to you with another video. On this episode, I'm going to be doing a Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, pretty much review, and kind of just like my thoughts on it, on like the overall game. I'm not going to go too in depth with it because again, it's just a beta. So I'm going to try my best not to criticize it too hard, even though it's still like in the working stages, So first off, to begin, I personally feel like this game in general, the multiplayer, how can I say this, gameplay is probably going to be like one of the hardest out of all the other previous Call of Duty multiplayers, because there's a lot of new things that they added and that they're starting to implement now. So normally on multiplayer gameplays, you can throw in random attachments and rack up kills depending on like your skill level, obviously. But with this, they kind of just went a little, I wouldn't say a little, but the realism is really coming out now. So some of the new implements that they added, they're bringing the dolphin dive back. I thought that was pretty interesting, but at the same time, kind of it got a little annoying because after all this time, we're all used to just sliding at this point, especially if you play the newer CODs. And hopefully, I haven't checked if there's like an option to like take that off, but hopefully there is, or if there isn't right now at the moment, hopefully they put in a setting to take that off, because yeah, I've just gotten so used to sliding, and even though like the dolphin dive is classic, legendary, like I would rather not do that anymore. Next up, they have like the ledge. It's called the ledge hang. Pretty much when you vault over, if you're vaulting over something that's like pretty high, you have the option to hang from it. I personally don't really like that too much, because if I want to jump over something, like the objective is to climb that object as like fast as possible, not to grapple onto it and then just hang there with my secondary out. So yeah, that kind of like annoyed me a little bit, but if you tap A quick enough, you shouldn't really notice it. They definitely increased the recoil on a lot of the just in general, recoil in general is insane. My first game on, I'm pretty sure I was using like the M4, and that was a pretty ridiculous gunfight. The recoil is increased so much. I'm hoping that they kind of like tune it down a little bit, and I get it, like it's with the realism. If any of you guys have ever shot any form of like weapons, like there's gonna be recoil with it, obviously, but when I play games, like I don't want it to be as real as it's gonna be in real life, if that makes sense. Hit detection. So if you're using ARs or submachine guns from, I would say, mid to long range, I hope you have like an extended mag on, because you're gonna be there for a while. The hit detection from long range is wild. So normally, like I'm used to, as you play CODs and stuff, you kind of like develop a target box area where you generally need to hit in order to get that kill. Whether it's chest and above, or like there's certain implements that everyone has. I'm pretty sure you may not notice it, but there's certain hit boxes where you need to hit in order to get kills. But yeah, you're gonna need to be accurate on this. There's no more of the spray and pray, I guess you can say, from like mid to like long range, especially long range. I hope you have extended mag or 60 round drum on that gun, because you're gonna be fighting for a while. They implemented so there's a new Gunsmith, pretty much. So like in Modern Warfare, it was just like regular Gunsmith. You unlock attachments for each and every single gun, and it was pretty much a grind. But now you have interchangeable receivers. So once you unlock a receiver, I'm pretty sure this is how it works. I'll leave a link in the description, so if you guys want like the full story and thought process behind it. With every receiver you unlock, that receiver has attachments. So let's say like normally the uh, the M4 or whatever from like another game, you would grind that weapon out to unlock all the attachments. But then if you go to another AR, like you have to do the exact same thing, which is like, getting headshots or whatever to unlock that attachment. Now, once that attachment is open or like unlocked for that specific receiver, it's permanently unlocked. So I thought that was good, especially when it comes to not having to play play through everything all over again just to unlock like the same thing. And I thought that was pretty cool, especially for those gun fanatics out there. There's a lot more customization, I guess you can say, that will go along with it. And I'm pretty sure I want to say it's 5 attachments per weapon now. I haven't really played too much with the weapon customization. Yeah, I've only been on the beta for like a day and a half, so like I said, it's not going to be too in depth, but just everything I've noticed so far. So, graphics. The graphics aren't bad. They're what it kind of reminds me of. So like the regular Modern Warfare like remastered. They're like that, but more enhanced. So I just hope that makes sense for you guys. But the sounds are the same. You know how you have like the screaming in the background, the announcers. It's pretty much, I don't want to say a copy and paste, but it's the same, but like more enhanced, I guess you could say. I did notice though, especially with the headset I have, hearing other people, like, because normally you can hear steps. I feel like that was kind of like tuned down a little bit. So definitely, if you don't have a good headset, you probably won't notice when someone's coming up behind you or like in your area. But if you do, you're gonna hear it slightly. So it's not as enhanced as it was where you could hear someone coming up from like a mile away. But, or I don't know, maybe I'm just deaf. Reloading, and this plays in like to the realism as well. So I don't know if it's just me. I'm pretty sure like this is a solid implement because it's happened to me on multiple occasions, and I know I'm not like lagging or anything. So if you don't fully reload your weapon, like it'll make you reload again, if that makes sense. So normally, for those of you that like actually shoot weapons and stuff, you kind of understand when you reload, right? If you're there's certain ways to like reload and whatnot. So let's say if you didn't send like the bolt back home, it'll make you tap X or square or whatever you guys have on PlayStation to reload. It'll make you hit it again so you can fully cycle through the entire like reloading animation. So on one part, I think it's cool, it's more realistic and whatnot, but at the same time it's kind of like, like, especially if you're on a head-on like gunfight and you need to reload quick. And normally how you just so me, I just tap X, and once I get to the animation where they're racking like the bolt back or they're finished reloading, I'll tap Y, so like I don't have to go through any of the extra animations and then keep shooting. But I've done that a couple times on here, and it's like actually made me go back and reload. So just look out for that. Let's see what else. They implemented some new game modes as well. You have, for the beta, you have Team Deathmatch, Domination, and there's a game mode called Game Mode. Wow, that was wild. There's a game mode called Invasion, which is pretty much, I'm pretty sure it's either, I want to say it's a 40v40 or like a 20v20 or something like that. It's a fuck ton of people. And yeah, it's like it's more like, what is that game called? Battlefield. So you know how you have those huge like multiplayer lobbies? It's just like that, literally. But the maps are way smaller, which helps a lot. I'll throw up some gameplay of that after this video. I'll probably most likely do a double upload today, but who knows? We'll see. But yeah, Invasion's pretty fun. It's pretty sick. Especially if you're just trying to have like the time go by, or like you don't really feel like doing anything like fast paced. Like it's a good like chill game mode. Let's see what else. They have third person mosh pit. Now personally, I did not like this too much, especially because like no one wants to play Call of Duty in third person. Like I get it, it's like a cool new thing, you know. Just the developers being a little creative, I guess you can say, but unless like I'm playing like Fortnite or something, like I'm not playing a third person or like the Division. Like the best way to explain it, it's like the Division in third person. But unlike in this game, when you aim down, you fully aim down sights, just like as if you were in first person. So I wouldn't say that it's like it feels like it there's extra time added, if that makes sense. If I'm to put it as clearly as possible, when you aim down, it feels like there's at least a second like delay. Rather, for example, when you try to aim down or aim in on like Fortnite, it's like a half second like action, but you go from third person to first person on this third person mosh pit, which I don't really, I don't know. You guys won't find me playing that very often, or even like at all. Then you have a knockout, which is a pretty much like search. You know, your team has like a briefcase. I think it's a briefcase or like a bag or some stupid shit. And I want to say it's like a 5v5 or maybe a 6v6 or something like that. And you pretty much like your team either needs to have the bag or the briefcase by the time the timer runs out, or the opposing team needs to be like fully wiped out. That I'm not really a big fan of like search style games, you know. I just don't have the patience, to be honest. Like if I'm playing something, like I want to fully actively be engaged in everything that's going on. So if I'm just like dying, or like if I get 2 kills and then I die, and then I'm waiting like another like 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how long the match takes, like I don't find much fun in that. But yeah, I want to say there's regular search, and then I want to say there's one more. It's called like teammate rescue or some shit like that, which is pretty much like you have to like save a teammate, and I think that's kind of like more search styled as well. So I haven't played that one yet, so I can't put too much input, but yeah, those are just some like quick thoughts on the game if you guys haven't played it yet. Do I recommend it? If ultimately I'll say yes, because you know every Call of Duty has like its perks and like downsides. If you're honestly gonna grind the game, you know, focus on getting better or being good at it, absolutely. Especially if you have friends that are gonna play it as well, I would say go for it. But if not, then I wouldn't. You know, it's nothing too crazy. You're not missing out on anything if you don't get it. You know, and obviously if you are, it's just like another new Call of Duty. You know, so if I were to rate it, the beta itself. So this is me rating the beta, not the game. All right, so I don't want you guys to go crazy in the comment box saying, "Nerf, you're smoking dick right now." No, it's just a it's just a grading on the beta. I would honestly right now at this point probably give it like a 6.5, 7. If I had to be like 100% honest, just because like we're as players we're being forced to like adapt to this new game. You know, normally on other CODs you unlock shit and it's all the same. Like if you can pull your back trigger, you're gonna be good at it. You know what I mean? Or at least decent. Like you're destined to get a kill. But if you don't have that like recoil control, or like it's more targeted, like it's more skill based. Like, you know, they're trying. I feel like Call of Duty is trying to get away from like the how COD was like classically, like anyone could just play it. Now there's actually skill that needs to be implemented behind the user, I guess you can say. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the ultimate review on this beta from my perspective. if you guys do have any questions or topics you want me to cover in the next episode or future episodes, go ahead and comment that. Please like, subscribe, follow my Insta, my Twitter to get updates on when I'll be dropping vids and whatnot. And yeah, peace.